Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to MoviePOP, and today we're here to talk about the latest Disney film. It's finally here.
Finally arrived.
The Lion King. It's directed by Happy Hogan, and is currently holding a Rotten Tomatoes score of 55% by critics, and 89% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. So, we obviously have a division here between the critics and the audience. What were my expectations going into this film? I'm not really a big Disney fan. I'll watch it here and there. I do have some hardcore nostalgia as a child watching this film. So, honestly, I haven't seen this film since I was like 6 years old. It's been like 20 years. I didn't really have any expectations for this film at all. I was just excited to see what Disney would do with this animated property and how they would bring it into the forefront in 2019 with CGI visual effects. That's pretty much it. So, Lawrence, what were your expectations going in, man?
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, the animated film, in like a really long time as well. I barely remembered some of the characters' names. I know, don't roast me. I'm sorry. No, but like I knew like in terms of expectations, I pretty much expected. They seem to just always kind of, with these adaptations, they always seem to kind of copy the animated version. So that's kind of what I was expecting going in. Just kind of like a copy of, like kind of like almost like a refresher type film. They just kind of bring it back into the light. So that's what I was expecting, and I think it was kind of similar to that. So with that said, let's jump right into some of the pros. What were your pros for this?
Man, I mean, it goes without saying. The visual effects for this thing were fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, they were really good.
Right? Like, what I thought when I watched the trailers was, okay, the landscapes are all shot in real time, but obviously the animal characters are, digitally inputted.
They look
like,
real,
what
though.
did you think about that?
Like, I know they were digital. Like, you can tell, but like, I'm like, are they digital though? Like, it's crazy.
The characters or the landscapes?
No, the characters. Yeah, the animals. Like, you know they're digital, but I'm like, at some point, I'm like, are they digital? They're digital.
But right.
I'm like, wait, holy crap!
What surprised me was like the whole thing is digital.
Yeah,
like the landscapes and the characters.
Yeah,
so
and I questioned it too. I'm like, is it really? I'm like, that's a lot of work, but I'm like, I can't tell. I think it is.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything on screen is completely animated. Like the ants, the leaves, all of it. Like, fudge.
Dude, it could be like a Discovery Channel thing. I'm just like, oh man, you're messing with me right now. Like, yeah, it's just the point is it's really freaking beautiful. Like they did a spectacular job.
Yeah. Gorgeous to watch.
Yeah.
I did appreciate the structure of the film. So I know some people might have some complaints about this. Like it's a little bit run by the numbers. It's what we've seen before in the animated original. I can't comment on that because I haven't seen it in like 20 years. Yeah. But from what I do remember, it does mirror the animated original pretty much beat by beat.
Yeah.
For me, like, I can see how that can be a con, but it can also be a pro, like following the source material faithfully. And that's it. Yeah. And for me, like, that was fine. It's been so long since I've seen it, so it worked for me.
I think for me, it goes both ways. Yeah, it's like a pro and con. Just because I think they're trying to stay true to the original film, which I think they did with this. But then, also, I'll get into more why that's a con later when we talk about the cons. But yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, they were original to... They didn't like ruin the original, which is definitely something you don't want to do with these. So they stayed true to the... These are like classics, so don't do that. And any more cons from you, or sorry, any more pros from me?
No, just two more.
Okay, go for it.
In terms of authenticity, I believed what I was seeing on screen. I was totally invested because the CGI, the pacing, the editing, all of it, like the voice acting, the music, everything. I believed it. I was invested. I thought it was a real thing I was watching, so I love that.
No, that's great.
And then lastly, for me. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead. Jump right into the last one.
Okay. Lastly, for me, man, I think John Oliver as Zazu, like that's the standout performance for this, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm like, whoa, there he is.
And here we are, last week tonight on Pride Rock.
Yeah.
That's it, man. So that's all my pros. How about you?
And I agree with pretty much all yours. I had similar stuff. The only one I have that you don't is I thought the length of the film was like really good. The length was probably like perfect because there may have been some points in the movie where I feel like it was about to drag and it was about to be too long, and then the film was kind of just over, or like I knew it was ending just because I knew how the original. And it's like I don't feel at any point in the story it really drags its feet because those scenes are like quick. So I feel like the length was like perfect. Like it keeps your attention, and just maybe when it's about to lose it or something, like it's over or the scene changes. So it's like
it's so true.
Yeah, like
because I did space out.
Yeah, there's
for
some
like
scenes
10
where you almost
seconds
do.
or so.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and you're like, oh, it's a new scene now, or something changes, or there's a new character, or they're moving the story along. So really good attention to that, which I thought was it was appreciated. So, and I think that wraps up our pros. So let's jump right into some of our cons.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've only got 2 cons. This is my biggest con.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like there was a lack of, in terms of like the animation for the facial expressions, and then secondarily the lip syncing with the characters. I did not get those emotions like really coming into the fold. Yeah, and I felt like that was a missed opportunity because I don't think they had motion capture for the actors. Yeah, for the actors. Yeah, right. Yeah. So it definitely showed, and I noticed it. Not enough to really pull me out, but it did. Yeah,
I think it's a symptom.
Suspend my disbelief in some scenes.
I think it's a symptom of the CGI being so good that they want everything to look like the actual animals, like so accurately. Right. And it's like, how do you give an animal like that? And like you said, they don't have the face the ability to capture like the facial expressions. It's like the animals are so realistic. How do you give animals that normally don't really have facial expressions? It's the symptom of just the CGI being so good. So I kind of get it, but yeah, it's definitely gonna be a con because like. Yeah, like some scenes I feel like it's basically being carried by the actors, the voice actors, like their tone. Like they have to kind of bring the expression to the fold because you don't really see it on the face. So, yeah. And then
my second and final con would be with the music. I don't necessarily remember the music like beat by beat, but these are things from my childhood. So when they did start singing, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this song.
Yeah, me too.
And it sounds different. And it's not as good. Yeah. And where's Elton John?
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. They can't bring all the Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, they're kind of like a reimagining of the songs. They're definitely not the originals, but yeah.
No. Not a huge con.
Yeah, I think all of our cons in general are very minor gripes. They're not like, oh my god, this movie's ruined. So take them with a grain of salt. And the only so I had the same con you did with the facial expressions. So I thought that was good. So I'm just gonna say my other one. I was expecting, because I like with these Disney movies when obviously you want to stay true to the source material, but you also kind of want to add your own flavor. I feel like they didn't really add any flavor to this. This is your like by the numbers. It's just a carbon copy. Don't get me wrong, like it looks gorgeous and everything's great about the movie, but it's the same movie. Like nothing really changed. Yeah. Like even in some small scenes they could have tweaked are like very similar. Like there's probably like 30 seconds of the movie that are changed. Like that's really what it comes down to, you know? So yeah, don't expect like a brand new story. I thought even Aladdin was more bold than this. Aladdin actually had some scenes that were different, some songs that were new, kind of add a little bit of its own flavor. Although it was very minor in Aladdin, it's still, you know, it's nice to see. Everyone wants to be kind of refreshed. So I think it's a small missed opportunity. They could have put in like some new stuff here and there, changed up the story, you know, done a little tweaks here and there. But yeah. So
damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna point to one example right here. I'm pointing at the Ghost in the Shell poster.
Of course.
That's a movie that could have been done by the numbers, and I would have been totally happy with. But I could totally imagine a scenario where I'm complaining about it being run by the numbers. Yeah. So yeah. All right. So is that our final opinions here on pros and cons?
I think that's it.
All right. Good. So on a score out of 1 to 5 bags of popcorn, I'm gonna give The Lion King, just because of the scope of what it's done and everything we've mentioned here, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 bags of popcorn. I enjoyed myself watching this film.
Me too. I thought I'm going to give this also a 4 out of 5. I feel like the CGI really carries the film, and it's like, how can you not appreciate something this beautiful? And it stays true to the original, so I mean, you can't really mark off too many points for the things that maybe it did falter on. But overall, it's great. I think everyone should watch it. If you're a fan of Disney or you're a fan of, Lion King or even other movies, I think this is a great addition.
Cool. All right. So families, girlfriends and boyfriends, boyfriends and boyfriends, girlfriends and girlfriends, couples.
Yeah.
If you've got $10, will you go see Lion King? I say yay.
Yeah, definitely. I'd probably see it again too. Like when it comes out, I'll probably watch it again.
Yeah.
Very good.
Nice. All right, well, there you have it from both of us here at MoviePOP, guys. If you want to find more awesome movie reviews, trailer reactions, please make sure to follow us on social media, on Instagram at MoviePOP Official, on Facebook at MoviePOP Official, and of course on Twitter at RealMoviePOP.
And you guys know how it goes. Just all the help you've given us, all the subs we've had, all that just means so much to us. Me and DJ are always watching, and we really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
So, of course, at the end of this video, give us some love. Tell us what you liked, tell us what you didn't like. And as always, thank you so much for watching.